digest this answer first, fully, mentally. You see, I am raising a hypothetical question and trying to answer the same. If Hazrat Mirza Sahib is not the Messiah who was prophesied by Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, then because he was right, a Messiah is yet to come. Agreed? If a Messiah is yet to come, and the people to whom he appears are, according to Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam, so similar to the Jews of the time of Messiah that you can't draw a line of difference between them. If that is right, and is that right or not? This is right. That Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallam did predict that. Okay? What should be the reaction of the ulama, of the neo-Jews? Because Jesus Christ can only descend, according to the prophecies, among a Jewish-like people who cannot be differentiated with one with the other. What should be their reaction? Will the new Jews, as Muhammad Rasulullah said, I don't say that, don't take offense. As Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has described them to be, Jews so similar to the earlier Jews that no difference can be marked and observed. Then what should be their reaction to the Christ of that time?
Yeah. Isn't there a hadith that says none of the people of the book will fail to believe in him before his
Beg
death?
pardon?
None of the people of the book will fail to believe in him before his death.
That is a different verse, a complicated affair. I'll come to that later.
Okay.
If you raise that question, of course I will answer that. But what I'm now trying to do is to draw your attention to a very important matter of principle. When we say the Messiah has come, and we present arguments in favor of his being the true Messiah, apart from other objections, one objection which is raised is the one which you just have raised. That if a Messiah has come, what about the ulama who oppose Ahmadiyyat and who have rejected him outright? Are they all mad? Didn't they understand these things? Why did they not accept him? And if they did not accept him and we did not, so it's okay by us. They are our religious leaders, we inquire from them, and they should have told us if the Messiah is right or wrong. Now this premise is wrong. Whether Messiah is right or wrong, that's irrelevant. The very premise is definitely wrong. On the Quranic statements, consistent Quranic statements with reference to religious history, and on the particular statement of Hazrat Muhammad Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam as to what would happen when Jesus descends, to whom he would come, among whom he would appear. That's the point. Yeah. He says he would appear among a people who apparently would be Muslims, but will have all similarities to the Jews of the time of Jesus Christ. Okay? What was their reaction to the true Jesus? See? Yeah, if they don't show the same reaction, then they are not similar. So the point of similarity is central to this argument. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. But again, I bring a very interesting thing to your notice, that one of the things which they demanded from that Jesus was that we are expecting an old prophet to descend bodily from heaven, who according to the Old Testament had ascended bodily to the heavens. And this time sitting on his chariot. He was drawn up into the heavens and is awaiting there, that is Elia, for his return before the time of Christ. This is exactly what is written in the Old Testament. So one of the objections of the people of that period to the Messiah of that period was that please show us that Elijah who has bodily descended from the heavens. The moment you do it, you would have established at least the basis of your truth. You could be possibly the same, but where is the Elijah? Do you reject the Old Testament and this divine prophecy? You see, when this matter was referred to Hazrat Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, you know the answer, what it was? He referred to John the Baptist, Hazrat Yahya, and said, he is the same Elijah. I don't reject the prophecy, I accept it. But he is the Elijah who was to descend from heaven bodily, and he has appeared before you. The same objection was raised by the ulama and still is raised by the ulama of the present time against Hazrat Mirza Ghulam Ahmad of Qadian. Do you or do you not read the word nuzul, which means descent? So tell us, if you have descended from the heaven bodily, or you have been born out of a human mother. And then they further, out of mockery, enlarge this objection by referring to the name of his mother. He said, what would be the name of your mother? Is it Chirag Bibi or Maryam? The answer would be Maryam, not Maryam, Chirag Bibi, of course. He said, you expect us to believe in you as son of Mary, while the name of your mother is not Maryam, but it is Chirag Bibi. So we have every right to reject you on the basis of scriptures. Now, if the same objection was raised by the Jews of the time of Jesus Christ regarding the person of Yahya, will you accept their argument against that of Jesus or the argument of Jesus?
You have to look at the ijma of the ulama. Do you agree?
No, what I'm saying is simply, again, a hypothetical question. If it is determined on the authority of all the biblical and historical statements that this issue was raised by the Jews of the period of Jesus Christ, right? If it is established beyond a shadow of doubt that Jesus accepted that prophecy as true and yet tried to convince them that descent from heaven does not mean a bodily descent. A man who is referred to descend from heaven may be born out of ordinary human mothers. And it was no longer a question of maybe. He particularly took this stance with reference to John the Baptist and said he is the Elijah, that Elijah, whom you expect to descend from heaven bodily. Now, what logic was in his favor? Were Jews not armed with much stronger logic who took the prophecy to be literal? Apparently, yes. Exactly the same is the case today with reference to the Ahmadiyya difference and the non-Ahmadiyyas. We believe they are metaphors. Don't take them literally. Or like Jews, you will be left awaiting for the first, not Messiah, but the one who is to come before him. And that is exactly what they do. There is a Wailing Wall in Jerusalem. And many a time their pictures appear annually. When the time comes, the Jewish elders go and strike their heads against the stones of that wall, praying to God, send that Elijah, so that the Messiah could come. They think Elijah has not come because he didn't descend from heaven. So, to accept that fate once again, after the lesson is given in history, would be unpardonable.